Yo, what is up guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys, on my final day off. And before I go back to work, guys, I will be talking about the latest Clive Christian fragrance. That's right. I love Clive Christian. I've been a fan even before all the blonde amber hype. Okay, so I've liked their original fragrances, the first ones that ever came out. And this one is the latest one. Now, this brand has been getting some mainstream appeal. So can't wait to talk about this latest one that does have a tea note in it. So hope y'all are excited. Let's go. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys. Okay, liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel as we head towards 26,000 subscribers. We just hit quarter of 100K, so please continue all your support, guys. Deep dive into my over 800 no hype videos, and if you ever see some affiliate links and would like to shop through those affiliate links, they do help the channel greatly. So I thank you so much in advance for your support. And the fragrance that I will be talking about today is none other than the latest Clive Christian fragrance coming out for 2025. This is none other than Clive Christian L Red Tea Vetiver. Yes, Clive Christian L Red Tea Vetiver, guys. And this one definitely got my attention. Unfortunately, other releases got me busy with doing the videos, but I promised everyone here that I would do this eventually. Now, tea is the big thing right here, okay? And when I saw this fragrance, my first impression was like, oh, you know what? They're enjoying the success that Blonde Amber got. Because to me, Clive Christian has always been a true niche like company, all right? And in the beginning of, when I did my reviews, a lot of people in Fragcom hated Clive Christian because of the cost, the pricing, which is now pretty regular in a lot of perfumes. The pricing that they have is kind of like the same as others. And so that kind of like premise of hatred towards Clive because of the pricing kind of went away. But actually, this fragrance company does make some bangers, and they're very consistent with its Englishman identity, kind of like the classic rich nobility. That's usually the overarching concept of Clive Christian. And so it was really interesting post Blonde Amber, which really got so much mainstream appeal, what they would do here. And when I saw the tea, I was like, oh, maybe they're trying to capitalize on that mainstream appeal. And hopefully it's the same still, with the same old Clive Christian elements. And on top of the tea note being there, which is very intriguing, you also have vetiver on the name as a spotlight note, which is very much a gent scent note. So can't wait to give you guys the breakdown of this, guys. Red Tea Vetiver by Clive Christian. Let's go spray this thing right now. Oh, yeah. Okay, guys, now let's talk about this fragrance right here, the latest Clive Christian L Red Tea Vetiver. No L's here, guys, all right? If you saw my reaction on the y'all know I like this fragrance. I wish I had a bigger bottle to drench myself in it, to be honest, because this opening is phenomenal, okay? And actually, the notes on Fragrantica aren't really enough to tell you the full picture of this fragrance, okay? The notes are actually on the Clive Christian website and others. And right here, guys, what greets you are the notes of bergamot, you've got pepper, you've got cardamom, you've got the early appearance of that rooibos tea, guys, and you have some juniper. Oh my goodness, guys. And let me tell you, this is the dimension I always look for. All right, because we all know that tea scents nowadays are always infused with some sort of citrus, maybe even some light aromatic notes. And it's just been done over and over and over in many of these scents. Add a mojito accord. So this one right here is quite different in many ways. Number one, you have the warming aspects on top of just the citrus, on top of just the bergamot. So you have the bergamot with the aromatic, no surprise there. But you also have the warming spices, the warming effect done by the cardamom and the pepper to make it spicy, and like a lot more spicy with the lingering bergamot. And the tea right here, what can I say, guys? Really well blended, slightly sweet, slightly bitter tea. Rooibos tea is what's in here, guys, but it's not in an overwhelmingly strong amount where it's like, you know, tea in your face with a lot of citruses. Okay, so it is a well blended tea note that also has, you know, juniper well blended in, and that juniper is another kind of like nice complex dynamic here, adding green piney woodsy elements but in a well blended fashion. So when you actually smell it, yes, you get the nice highlighted sweet well blended in tea, you do get the bergamot, guys, you do get the spiciness, but also it's very gentlemanly thanks to the juniper that came in right here. To me, this is a nice complex scent, but I reckon because of the tea as well as the spices, this opening was also built for the mainstream crowd that made, you know, Blonde Amber famous. All right, if you like mainstream spicy fragrances, you might like this one as well. But for me, it's a combo of, you know, mainstream and the OG Clive Christian appeal. And the thing about Clive Christian, guys, as a whole, is that their fragrances are actually not pushy or intruding. Most of them are actually calming types of scents that, you know, nobility would wear, okay, in a comforting way. So what I like about this one right here is that it also maintains the citrus, slightly aromatic and spiciness that Clive Christian is known for in their other scents. Like, let's say Clive Christian X. It's not super potent and pushy. It's very, like, I don't know, very zen, very calming, very gentleman-like, to where a rich gentleman would wear it and it doesn't look like, you know, that person is trying to get the attention, you know, of other people. But the thing is, guys, this fragrance definitely got the attention. Okay, first and foremost, sillage and projection. This one is obviously a lingering draw-in scent. And a lot of people gave me compliments on this one. No surprise with spices of pepper and cardamom, but just that tea infusion, that comfortable warming tea infusion with some bergamot will definitely turn heads. At least it did when I wore this, but I did get a lot of compliments on this one. Beautiful sillage and projection, like I said, not too pushy, not too beast mode. It's just right there for the gent. Okay, so now let's head into the mid of Clive Christian L Red Tea Vetiver. Now, if you like the intro, great. I liked it, as you can see with my reaction, because I felt like this was classic Clive with citrus and aromatic and spicy, but then also that infusion of the tea plus that ramp up of warming spices, in my opinion, was kind of like an outreach to the mainstream crowd. The mid is definitely, though, where it's at for the niche heads, because there's some complexity right here in the mid of L Red Tea Vetiver. In the mid, guys, of course, the Rooibos tea intensifies. I mean, definitely there's a more standout Rooibos tea right here in the mid. But of course, the really awesome part right here is the mix with the vetiver. You know, you have some earthy, smoky, dry, woodsy vetiver that really adds some body into this mid as you're smelling this slightly sweet, slightly bitter, well blended in Rooibos tea. Okay, and I totally enjoyed it. Super gent scent. Definitely the vetiver was, you know, giving that woodsy, earthy, smoky body to this. And what's really awesome too about this mid on the latter part was that they added a really nice, well blended in incense note to continue kind of like that smokiness, add a different complexity to this mid. So there's actually some light incense here as well at the latter part of the mid, guys. So this part definitely is the more sensual, warming, gradient, sunset, you know, type of transition, which was already started by, you know, the spices in the beginning and the early appearance of the tea. This goes into a darker gradient, obviously, with the tea intensifying, having some incense, having the body of vetiver, but also still very gentlemanly because, hey, it's vetiver. Okay, so now let's head into the dry down of Clive Christian L Red Tea Vetiver, and what can I say? This dry down definitely is another knockout punch. This, you know, dry down, they knocked it right out the park. And I would say that all three stages of this fragrance, they're all pretty damn amazing, and that's why I like this fragrance. First part is the intro to the red tea with some warming spices, lingering bergamot, and a manly juniper right there, masculine green. And then heading into the mid, you get some woody, earthy vetiver. This is perfect for the niche heads. Incense blend with red tea, continuing on. And right here in the dry down, guys, they got ambroxan. Of course they do. All right, ambroxan, musk, and sandalwood. Your typical amber woods combination at the end of this fragrance is what you get on the dry down. And the dry down to me started at the 6 to 7 hour mark. And of course, we love ambroxan. I love it. But of course, here you know that it's not going to be in a very loud amount. Not like in Le Manzate by Louis Vuitton, okay? But it's there, and it's very nice, okay? Nice ambroxan musk sandalwood on this ending right here. Now, of course, Clive Christian, they're going to be Clive Christian. They'll still throw a little wrench in there by providing Clary Sage Absolute here in this dry down, guys. And Clary Sage is a nice green aromatic note that's usually in the beginning part or the mid of most fragrances, but the Clary Sage is here in this dry down, providing a nice green aromatic touch. Kind of continues on the gentlemanly feel as you are smelling some nice ambroxan musk and sandalwood. So I like this dry down as well. Just know it's not the strong ambroxan, like super strong, but it's definitely there. And I really like the touch of Clary Sage Absolute in the end. Really completes the circle, completes the pyramid as a true Clive Christian fragrance, but I feel it's also made for the mainstream. Okay, so what do I think of this fragrance right here, Clive Christian El Vetiver? I mean, obviously, I do like this fragrance. Actually, it might bridge into love every single time I spray this fragrance. I contemplate actually spending $400 of my hard-earned money into a full bottle because I really like it. And I truly believe that this is Clive Christian's way of, pitching in their competitive fragrance versus, like the imagination, the hype of imagination and other tea scents that are out there. They're basically putting their 2 cents in, and what a nice 2 cents it was, because this is not the same as the others. This is definitely not like imagination where you have citrus and florals and some balancers to make the tea like livelier. The tea becomes a balancer in those scents, but right here, guys, this is more on the classy, sensual side. Spices, red tea, vetiver incense. Definitely this is more of the, you can say, gradient or sunset side versus the sunrise of those other tea scents. So I would say that this is definitely much different. What I do like right here is that Clive Christian did not compromise their identity. This is still very much like overall a nice Englishman nobility type of scent, and it did make me very warm, cozy, and comfortable, much like a rich person is, a comfortable person, right? It's pretty comfortable. I felt pretty comfortable wearing this, and it's at an amount, like I said, where you don't feel necessarily the thickness of it, but it's there, it's lingering. Therefore, this makes for a very usable scent on top of the amazing stages of this fragrance. This fragrance to me, guys, is a grabber to upscale grabber. It is. It can be a grabber. It can be a signature scent. And like I said, it hoarded the compliments. No surprise there. With the spices, the red tea, bergamot in the beginning, without a doubt, it got me compliments. And this one, because it's a lot more usable and because it's not super thick, this can be worn in AC environments. It can be worn in spring. It can be worn in fall, maybe winter. Maybe, I'm not sure about like really, really hot summer. I would say that this is more for like an AC environments. I mean, if you want to come out as a gentleman and even on dates, I feel like this has the draw-in nature, that uniqueness, that red tea, vetiver spices combo. I feel like this could be great on dates as well. So I think it's a highly usable fragrance right here. Okay, so now let's talk about the performance of this fragrance right here. To me, it was a 12-hour scent with the strongest parts being up to 10 hours. Now, this fragrance right here, like I said, is not like super thick. It's definitely nice, like spicy, aromatic, draw in with the vetiver, some smokiness. There's some body right there. But to me, even with the ambroxan and musk combination, it's really not in like a dynamite amount. You know what I mean? It's just enough to get you through up to 12 hours hours of this scent. Like I said, strongest part is 1 to 10 hours. All right, the potent, more noticeable part is up to 10 hours. Okay, I had no problems wearing this because really the best parts right here are going to be in the first like 7 to 8 hours, right? So that's more than enough for any type of social coverage, in my opinion, unless you're like, you know, working. But even if you're at work, I mean, it will definitely last up to 8 hours easily. So no problems here on the performance. And finally, let's look into the cost of this fragrance, guys. $410 for a 50 ml. And again, I am contemplating this so bad because I feel like this is untouched. This is a fragrance that not a lot of people are talking about right now, and not a lot of companies are making variations, like tea variations of what they brought around here. This is a nice, warming, appealing, masculine, like red tea fragrance. Actually, you know, I thought about it and I was like, maybe women can actually wear this as well, because the tea does bring some sort of sweetness into it. There's nothing wrong, there's nothing super masculine about all the notes right here. I feel like a woman could wear this as well, but you know, to me, it definitely brought the gent scent. It brought the Englishman nobility aspect of Clive Christian. And what can I say? I feel like it is worthy of that $400 price tag. And if it ever ends up at the discounters or whatever, I will definitely jump on that and wear it for, to me, the autumn fall season. This is truly an amazing fragrance that's worth every single dollar, in my opinion. And that is it. That is my no hype review on the latest Clive Christian fragrance, L Red Tea Vetiver. I really like this fragrance. I feel like, you know, if this catches fire, this might be just as popular as Blonde Amber down the road. Because as you all know, Blonde Amber, you know, when I reviewed that, it wasn't even really that popular. And then, it exploded, like, I think a couple of months down the road. And I feel like this one will be another one. I mean, don't quote me on that. I don't know how Fragcom, craziness works on the hype. But in my opinion, this is a very legit fragrance right here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Hopefully, I can knock out the surge offs before I fly out to Tokyo. Can't wait to talk about that. I'm going to test it today. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for 25K. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. God bless. Take care. Peace.